Hey guys, what is going on? Jurgen from Zergrino Sports here, and today we are doing a Elimination Chamber 2017 review video, which happened last night, of course. And right off the bat, it was a great pay-per-view in my opinion. They did a lot of things right. They did a few things that were kind of iffy, which I'll elaborate on when we get into the match results and all that bullshit. But overall, it was a pretty good pay-per-view. I think it exceeded expectations a little bit. That's kind of been the trend with those SmackDown pay-per-views since the brand split. It's been like they have matches where you're like, okay, that shouldn't be anything special, and then they blow you away. It's like, holy shit. And then on Raw, it's the opposite. They have those like really promising matches, and then Vince is like, yeah, but Roman Reigns though, and then he ruins everything. Anyways, so let's get into the match. They started off on the pre-show, the kickoff show, whatever the fuck you want to call it, with Mojo and Kurt Hawkins. I didn't watch it because my stream on YouTube wouldn't load, so I didn't get to watch the match. Obviously, Mojo won. It sucks that he did because Mojo's fucking awful. He doesn't belong in the WWE, in my opinion. He's terrible. I don't know, man. Apparently, I've watched a couple review videos before recording mine, just like for the first bit, to see what they thought of kickoff match since I didn't get to watch it. Apparently, he had a new finisher, but apparently it was sloppy when he did it, which doesn't surprise me because he's shit. Yeah, I don't know. He shouldn't be anywhere near a WWE ring, man. That's just, I don't know. He's terrible. I really don't like him. I really don't. And he beat Kurt Hawkins, who I do like. I think Kurt Hawkins is better than he's given credit for. I think he could be a credible mid-card guy facing off for the Intercontinental title, shit like that. I think if you build him correctly, he could be a credible mid-card guy. So yeah, Mojo defeated Kurt Hawkins. Did you expect anything else? Not really. They're high on Mojo, and they brought Kurt Hawkins back to be a fucking jobber. So, as expected, Mojo won. Then you get to the main show. They started off with Becky versus Nikki. I wasn't happy that Becky versus Nikki started off because I was predicting Nikki to win because she kind of needs it more than Becky, in my opinion. But when this match came on first, I was like, okay, never mind, Becky's gonna win because they usually like to start off the shows with a face win so they can get the spirits of the crowd lifted. So as soon as this match was first, I was like, okay, so Becky's winning, which she did. This match was good. I don't want to say actually pretty good because both are two tremendous in-ring competitors. It was, a lot of people are saying it was kind of lackluster. I disagree. I think it was a good little match to start off the show. There were some pretty good moments. Becky went for like the pump handle thing, and then Mickey reversed it into her kick thing. I can't remember what the fuck it's called, but yeah, the Mick kick. That's what. Mick kick. It was a good little match. Becky won with a roll-up. Well, not a roll-up. The jackknife pin thing. Good match. Mickey was good as a heel. She's not completely as like the full-on like crazy heel character as she was when she debuted with her storyline with Trish back in 2005. Was it 2005? I think so. Yeah, because they had their match at 22, because 21 was Trish and Christy Hemme. Yeah, so 25, in the middle of 2005, sorry. Middle to late 2005, she debuted, and her heel, like, crazy chick heel character was great. She's not fully that way yet, but you can see like little glimpses of it, and it's kind of like a callback, and it's really cool to see that because her heel like crazy person gimmick was fucking like obsessed stalker gimmick was really good. She played it really well, and she's always been really good in the ring. So I'm kind of disappointed that she didn't win because I do think she needed a bit more, but Becky winning, not a big deal. Mickey is a veteran, so she probably should be there to help put over the other talent. She shouldn't be a jobber by any means. I think she deserves at least one more run with the women's title before she retires. That's for sure. At least one. She could get a couple depending on which way you want to go with things. But yeah, she should be there to help along the other talent as well, since she is a veteran in this business. So yeah, good match. Next you had Kalisto and Apollo Crews versus Dolph Ziggler in the handicap match. This match was alright for what it was as well. Dolph Ziggler attacked Kalisto in his entrance. So Apollo came out first, then Kalisto came out. Dolph Ziggler ambushed Kalisto, threw him into the LED Trons, and then he was out for like the first bit of the match, and then it was Dolph and Apollo for a bit. Then Kalisto came back acting like he'd been fucking crushed by like a truck or something, like barely walking to the ring, and then he's like fucking in pain, and then he gets tagged in for a hot tag, and oh wait, he was injured? Oh man, well I guess he forgot he was injured because he fucking stopped selling a thing. He didn't sell his back like he was. He took like fucking 2 minutes to walk down to the ring because his back was fucked up, and as soon as he gets tagged in, everything's okay, and then he tags in fucking Apollo, and then fucking he's hurt again. Like it was ridiculous, man. That's a little gripe I have with some of the wrestlers these days. It's like, and like wrestling's evolved to a point, and selling is kind of a lost art now, I'd say, because people like Kalisto just throw it out the window for little tidbits in a match. But yeah, I don't know. It was an alright match for what it was. After the match, oh yeah, the finish was Kalisto hit Dolph with like some sort of kick, I think, after Apollo tagged himself in. And then Apollo did his like finisher. I don't know. It's like, you know, the powerbomb thing, but where like he like holds them up and like turns them in the air and then powerbombs them. I don't fucking know. Whatever his finisher is called, he hit that. 1, 2, 3. After the match, Dolph attacks Kalisto. Apollo tries to get revenge on him. And then Dolph attacks Apollo and does the thing where he puts his ankle in the chair and then stomps on the chair, and he does that twice. And I'm really liking heel Dolph Ziggler because he's always been better as a heel, in my opinion. He's always been better as a heel. It's a lot easier to be a heel, but like he just pulls off being a heel really well. The thing is, the two faces that he's brutalizing, nobody gives a fuck about. So instead of people booing him out of the building for doing like this dastardly evil fucking thing, potentially like kayfabe breaking Apollo Crews' ankle, right? They're chanting "Thank you, Ziggler" as he's walking up the ramp to the back. Like, it's hilarious because, I mean, if he didn't lose so fucking much during his face run in the past 3 years, because the WWE are fucking idiots and they like to push people like Roman Reigns instead of people with actual fucking talent who are ready, like Dolph fucking Ziggler. If they didn't make him lose so much, I think his heel run would be more credible, I guess I should say. But yeah, he did some good heelish things like mannerisms and shit like that throughout the match. Yeah, it was really good heel display. It's just nobody gives a fuck about the people who he's like destroying. So of course he's gonna get cheered. If you put him up against somebody like Dean Ambrose, that would probably get him some heat because a lot of the fans do like Ambrose. I hate Ambrose. I'm like, I used to be like on the fence and I used to like not like him as much but not hate him, but now I just hate him. He's just, I don't want him anywhere near the main event ever. He's just not my cup of tea. But we'll elaborate on that later because he's in the main event. Yeah, so if Dolph gets put up against somebody the fans actually like, I think it could be good. But yeah, good match for what it was. But yeah, sure. Okay, next it was the tag team turmoil match. I think who started off? It was Breezango and Heath and Rhino started it off. Heath and Rhino eliminated them. In comes the Von Villains. Out goes the Von Villains. They've gotten like nuclear heat apparently because of fucking Simon Gotch. So that's something. And then who was next? I think Alpha was next. It very possibly could have been Alpha. I'm trying to remember. I don't think there was anybody else in the match. It was, yeah, I think it was Alpha. They eliminated Slater and Rhino. and then the Usos came out, and then Alpha eliminated the Usos. The Usos got mad like they've done before with matches with Alpha, beat them down after the match was done. Out comes the Ascension, and you're thinking, okay, they're going to put the titles on the Ascension. And my friend on Twitter would have been really happy about that, because he's been going on about how the Ascension should have a Mad Max entrance at WrestleMania for fucking like the majority of 2016. So he would have been happy with that. And you come out and you're like, okay, they're gonna do this. Ascension are just gonna mop them up real quick. They're gonna be the champions going into Mania. Nope. No. They fucking buried the fuck out of the Ascension. The Ascension come out, they fucking stall for like a minute, do some like yelling at the crowd, hype themselves up, do their finisher on Jordan. Gable comes in, breaks it up. They beat them down a bit. They do another pin. I think Gable breaks it up again, and then out of nowhere, grand amplitude after like a few seconds, and then 1, 2, 3, it's done. They buried the fuck out of the Ascension, man. They made them look fucking stupid. Like, imagine if Roman Reigns did that. Imagine if Roman Reigns did what Alpha did. He would have been booed out of the fucking building. And rightfully so. They fucked up with that match. Ascension should have won. I'm not even, like, I'm a big fan of the Ascension back in NXT, because they were booked like fucking dominant heels. Ever since they got to the main roster, Vince doesn't know what the fuck to do with them. He made them some fucking wasteland gimmick, which doesn't work. They should have just kept what they were doing in NXT and just translated it onto the main roster, and it would have been great. But nope, Vince has to fuck everything up because it's Vince. And yeah, I don't know. They really dropped the ball with that. I could see the Ascension getting future endeavored after that, because they made them look weak as fuck. Unless they're gonna do a thing where it's gonna be Ascension versus Alpha at Mania, and that's how they set up the feud. But still, they could have done it a better way than fucking making the Ascension look absolutely terrible. Like, I don't know, man. That was one of the low points of the show. The actual wrestling in the tag matches was all right. It was pretty good, but it's just, that's such a weird finish. Next was Nikki Bella versus Natalya, and this was actually surprisingly good. Nikki Bella was actually decent in this match, and she's definitely gotten better over her career. She's still not great. She's still not good, but she did all right last night. It was a really decent match, actually. The only problem with this match was it ended in a double countout, so a non-finish. You know, the feud's been good, though. The feud's been good. Natalya's been cutting some really good promos. Nikki's been cutting all right promos, but just all her promos are cringe-worthy. Just the way she speaks and the way she carries herself aren't, like, she doesn't, like, belong doing promos. Like, she's not right for she just sounds cringe-worthy whenever she does a promo. Or at least in my opinion. So, yeah. And apparently she's retiring afterwards, which I'll get into in a second. Anyways, yeah, so ended in a double count out. The match was pretty good. Ended in a double count out. Then they went backstage. It happened after a couple of matches, but they went backstage. Nikki was interviewed, talking about how, like, oh, it's not over, blah blah blah, and then Natalya hit her from behind. They brawled backstage. Maurice was at, like, the makeup counter. Nikki accidentally hit, like, powder up into Maurice's face while she was, like, fighting off Natalya, and that's how they're gonna set up the fucking Nikki Bella, John Cena versus Maurice and Miz match at Mania. You just know, because she wasn't there by accident. That's literally gonna be their setup, which is fucking hilarious in my opinion. And apparently that's gonna be Nikki's last match. She's rumored to be retiring after Mania. But yeah, double count out. Nikki should have probably won. It's her hometown, and you didn't really need to protect Natalya in this case, because they're probably gonna have, like, a match on fucking SmackDown this week, tomorrow night, on SmackDown as like the blow off, and then Maurice is gonna screw her over or some shit like that, and it's gonna be like, oh, why'd you do that? You got powder in my face. Oh man, look at that! What a compelling rivalry. Whoa, wow, very good. No, I don't know. It was a good match though. Next you had one of the best matches of the night, probably the best match of the night behind the Elimination Chamber match itself, Randy Orton versus Luke Harper. A lot of people were kind of sleeping on this match because a lot of people don't see the talent that Luke Harper has. And I've been preaching on Twitter that, like, Luke Harper has all the tools you need for a main event guy. He's so talented. His in-ring work is great. His ring psychology is great. His promos are great. And he really proved it the last night. Randy Orton ended up winning, which is as expected. I don't think anybody expected Luke Harper to win. But Luke Harper made like a statement to the backstage saying like, I belong in this upper mid-card main event scene. Because he does. He's got unreal talent. It's way too much talent for them to waste. Knowing Vince, he's going to waste it in favor of fucking some guy who doesn't belong. But he really did wonders for himself last night because it was a great showing. Randy Orton's was great too. A lot of people are saying Randy Orton's boring. He was really good last night. There was really good psychology in the match. Good moments and stuff like that. Good actual wrestling. The end was, if I remember correctly, Harper doing his discus clothesline. Randy reversing it and then doing the RKO. But there was a superplex in the match. They did some cool spots on the outside. Randy did a backdrop to Luke on the table. Then later in the match, Luke did that, and he ran after him, and then Randy did his the power slam thing where like he runs off the ropes and he catches him and does like the quick power slam. He did that on the outside, which looked fucking brutal. But yeah, great match. Best match of the night behind the Elimination Chamber match. Next up, you had the Women's Championship match, which was Naomi and Alexa Bliss. Naomi actually won the match. The thing with this is she deserves it, because she's one of the better female wrestlers on SmackDown and in the company. If you like, she's great. She's really underrated. Her promos aren't the best, but in ring, she's really good. One of the better in the WWE, the main roster, for sure. She definitely deserved the women's title. It's just, I think they should have kept it on Alexa Bliss a bit longer. I mean, I could see why they want the title on Naomi, because Mania is in Orlando and she's from Orlando, and they want her to come in as champion. But I think it would have been better if she won the title in her hometown. That would have been given like a much bigger pop, because knowing Vince, she's gonna lose the title at Mania, because he loves making people lose in their hometown. Clean too, like without shenanigans. Like, I don't know, Vince is weird. But yeah, it was an alright match. It was a pretty good match. The finish was Alexa going for the Twisted Bliss, or whatever the fuck her top rope finisher is called. And then Naomi blocked it with her knees. She went up and she did her finisher, the springboard thing, kind of like the Starship Pain, but like it's just like a regular backflip. She hit that 1, 2, 3. One of the best moments of the night though was after she won, the whole like crowd chanted "You deserve it" at her, and she cried, which is great. It's always great to see emotion in wrestling. It's, yeah, it was a good moment. I personally would have held it off till Mania to have Naomi win, because then she could get an even bigger pop in her hometown. And I think Alexa Bliss was doing really good things as champion, but either way, it's well deserved by her, so good for her. And then we get to the main event, which made me so fucking happy. This match, first of all, this is probably one of my favorite Elimination Chamber matches I've ever seen. I genuinely really enjoyed it. There was a lot of good spots. The look of the Elimination Chamber itself, since they had to modify it, of course, apparently the reasoning is because of the new scoreboards in a bunch of the arenas. The original chamber couldn't really fit, so they had to make like the squared circle pretty much. New design, and the chamber pods were a lot shorter. I don't know if the chamber pods were shorter or if the top of the thing was just a lot taller. It kind of seemed like both, but I don't know. Could have been a combination of both. Who knows? The actual look of the thing was all right. People were complaining about the portion between the ring and the chain link around, like the actual chain walls, not being pure metal. There was padding on there. It was padded, but let's be honest, that probably has like barely any give. It's like being like doing moves on the outside of the ring. It's padded over concrete, but it still hurts like a motherfucker, I'd assume. And they kind of had to do that because they did a lot of shit like jumping down, which they weren't able to do in the previous chambers because of how it was set up. So yeah, I don't know. The weird thing, it was kind of weird though, because they had their logo at the very top, and it was like, okay, that's a little unnecessary. I mean, we literally paid to see your show, or streamed it illegally, like most people, like some people who, you know, can't afford that shit. Like, you know it's the WWE. Like, you ordered the pay-per-view, or you're going out of your way to find a stream for it. There's no reason for you to put your logo on the top of it. Like, it's just a little excessive, but it doesn't really matter. I didn't mind the new look. I definitely like the original look of the chamber a lot better, but the new look, it's fine. No real big gripes with it. Yeah, it's all right. But yeah, on to the actual match. AJ and John Cena started it off. They had a good little few minutes there, which they did great stuff. And then Dean came in third, and he kind of... The thing with Dean is, like, he kind of spoils a lot of shit, because, like, obviously he knows he's going to be the third entrant, but, like, he was, like, ready to fucking, like, go. Like, he was, like, literally about to walk out before he was even announced as the third entrant. And it's like, bruh, just fucking calm down. Like, his like, mannerisms and his emotions and shit, like, I just don't like him, man. One major gripe I had with the show, why is the Intercontinental Champion Dean Ambrose in the fucking chamber match instead of defending his title? Because he didn't defend it at the Royal Rumble, and he's not defending it now, and he hasn't defended it on SmackDown. When the fuck is he going to defend it? It's been fucking 30 days, and I know the 30-day rule is kind of, like, thrown out the window nowadays, but, like, he hasn't defended it since he won it, man. Like, fuck. Whatever. Next up, I think... Who came out? I think it was Bray that came out next. Bray came out. He looked good. Then Baron came out fifth. He fucking tore shit down. He was throwing people into the fucking walls and shit. Like, he was doing damage. And then Miz was about to come out sixth. The buzzer rang. His door opened. He was about to come out. Baron was waiting for him. Then Dean rolled him up. 1, 2, 3. Baron got really pissed off and fucking destroyed Dean after the match, which was the third time that happened during the pay-per-view. Ironically, it happened in the Dolph match, it happened in the Alpha match, and it happened in the Elimination Chamber when the heel got beat by a surprising method, and then they attacked them. But yeah, I didn't mind it. He just destroyed Dean, left, setting up, presumably, their Intercontinental title feud for Mania. And then Miz, in typical Miz fashion, just comes in once Baron's out and then just pins Dean. Made Miz look good, made Baron look really good. I mean, I've seen some people complaining that he kind of looked stupid for getting rolled up after taking basically no damage. Because he like tore the house down, but I don't mind it at all because it led to his reaction after the match. Like, if he got pinned justifiably, he wouldn't have reacted like that. So it's like, it shows like he's pissed off. I think it was perfectly fine. I think the Miz got eliminated next. Yeah, he did. Miz got eliminated by Cena, which presumably is also going to affect the tag team mixed gender match, whatever the fuck. Nikki threw powder on Maurice. John Cena pinned the Miz. It's probably going to lead to their match at Mania, their rumored match, I should say, which seems to be what they're going with. And then it was the final three, which was AJ, Bray, and Cena. Bray eliminated John Cena fucking clean as a whistle with the Sister Abigail. Where was that at WrestleMania 30? Like, holy fuck, long overdue. Great moment. You knew you were going to have a new champ, either AJ or Bray Wyatt. Either one was good. The thing with this is they kind of booked themselves into a corner with having Randy win the Rumble, because it was obvious that Bray was going to win. The Sister Abigail to finish the match was really good. AJ went up for the phenomenal forearm. Bray caught him, did the Sister Abigail, 1, 2, 3. Bray Wyatt is finally WWE champion. About goddamn time. He earned it fucking years ago. He's deserved it for years, and he's finally been given what he deserves, which is the WWE championship. And I'm so happy for him, because he's been one of my favorites since he debuted on the main roster. I didn't really watch him in NXT, because that was about the time I was getting back into wrestling when he debuted on the main roster. Like, he's been a favorite of mine since he debuted on the main roster, so it's really great to see what he deserved. And it's kind of funny that people were going to be potentially sad at AJ Styles beating Husky Harris for the WWE Championship. Let that sink in. People were going to be potentially upset that AJ Styles would have possibly beaten Husky Harris for the WWE title. That's just, I don't know. Bray Wyatt deserves the WWE Championship 100%. He deserved it years ago, and he's finally getting what he deserves. And then, so Bray Wyatt's going to WrestleMania. He's going to face Randy Orton, of course. At the end of the match, they had this cool thing. He was celebrating with the title, pointing at the WrestleMania sign. Then he looked up the ramp, and there was just Randy Orton there. They had like a brief stare down, and then he did his follow the buzzards thing to close off the show. Yeah, it was a great match. I think this was, yeah, definitely one of my favorite Elimination Chamber matches in itself I've ever seen. The whole show itself, I'd probably give it an 8 out of 10. I think it was really good. There were a few things, like I said, that irked me. Dean not defending his title. Dean himself just pisses me off. And then making the Ascension look fucking weak as hell. Yeah. Overall, really good show, I think. Like I said, 8 out of 10 is what I'd give it, probably. Maybe 7.5 out of 10, based on the fact that, you know, they did do, like, it was a bit repetitive with the heel getting pinned and then attacking. I didn't mind it, but I could see why some people would. Other than that, making the Ascension look weak as fuck is a really big down point. But yeah, I'd probably give it an 8. And 7.5 if you're being really harsh, but I'd say an 8 out of 10. I think it was a really, really good pay-per-view. Definitely happy with the outcome. Bray Wyatt finally fucking wins, like he's deserved for fucking years now. So yeah, that was my review of the Elimination Chamber 2017. If you liked, leave a subscribe. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like, subscribe, share it with all your friends, all that good shit. Let me know what you thought of the pay-per-view down below in the comments. I'd like to hear your opinions. Did you like the show, dislike the show, you know, booking things you would have done differently, anything like that. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
We are number one.